This is how to tell if you might be dating a psychopath. What follows is information only. Only a mental health professional can diagnose any condition. What is a psychopath? A psychopath is a mentally unstable individual with an egocentric personality. They're antisocial and they have a lack of remorse. They can't empathize with anybody about anything. It's just not in them to do it. So they have absolutely no empathy whatsoever for you or anybody else in their lives. Now, this totally non-empathetic individual is glib and has a charm. They can win anybody over. They're not shy at all. They can talk about anything to anybody in any setting. Now, this superficial charm has an ulterior motive behind it. And you won't know off the bat that this is not who they truly are, because the confidence and their glibness is almost overpowering. It brings you in. They stand out in a room. Okay, you can't miss them because they're so gregarious. This is part of what draws you in. This is what draws everybody into their web. Now, along with Mr. Glib's personality, they cannot control their emotions. Their emotions are like a ping pong game, back and forth. 1 minute they're this way, the next minute they're that way. They can come off as aggressive and irritable and verbally abusive. None of that is uncommon for this individual. So what you want to look for is sudden outbursts of anger and temper. For instance, he might be or she might be working on something and getting a bit frustrated with it, and where a well-adjusted individual might be able to deal with that, calm down, take a more objective view of what they're doing, or try again. Their irritability will be front and center, as opposed to being well-adjusted. So these sudden outbursts, these different emotions are something they might not even be aware that they're doing, but it's a red flag for you. Now, you cannot convince these people that they're not God's gift to the entire world. They have this grandiose, over-exaggerated view of themselves. And it's a phony self-worth, because the things like the erratic emotions we just talked about, those things are coming from deeper within them. And this grandioseness is a cover for that. Their egos can't take being anything less than all that they think they are. Highly opinionated these people are. And every time you turn around, they're bragging about something that you could say, well, I've got a such and such a car, and they're going to brag about that they've got a better car. You could say that you went to a certain place, and they're going to brag that they went to some place better than that. They have enormous egos, and they're over-exaggerated because they're trying to cover up insecurities with these superiority complexes. Another thing about them is they're liars. Psychopathic liars. And their lies are cunning, unscrupulous, manipulative, and they have no regard for the consequences of telling that lie. There's just nothing else out there but in this moment, this lie that they're telling. And they lie because the air is blue. They lie because the clouds are going by. They lie because the sun's shining. They don't need a good reason to be liars or to tell a lie. They're just doing it because they're breathing. Not a good thing. In relationships, the reason why this is also a challenge is because if they're lying just because the sky is blue, they think nothing of lying to you about something they don't want you to know about. And the dangerous thing about that is there's nothing in their head telling them that, oh, I don't want to tell this lie because I might get caught. Or I don't want to tell this lie because down the line they might find out. None of that is in their heads at the time that they're telling this lie. So, dangerous situation and a red flag for you. Now, these people think absolutely nothing about their manipulative ways. They are major master manipulators. And you wouldn't think that somebody so unself-aware would have the wherewithal to be an observer of others to the point where they know how to exploit your weaknesses. These manipulators have very little self-discipline whatsoever. They think nothing of exploiting you, and they think nothing of exploiting others for personal or financial gain. So in a relationship, you want to look for somebody that's always in your wallet. Oh, I forgot mine, so would you mind paying for this? Or got a sob story. Think dating scammers. Think that, okay? Where it's they're always in some kind of drama that requires you to drain your finances or to spend your money or whatever other personal gain it would be for them. So this is the person that you might meet online, then next thing you know, they're moving in with you, right? As if that was just a foredrawn conclusion. So another red flag. Here's one for you. If you meet these jokers now, this is what you can count on. They are going to be serial cheaters. One relationship after another, and they're really counting not just on their belts or not just on the dashboard, not just somewhere, as to how many different people that they can sleep with. And they think that it's a badge of honor that they're able to juggle all these relationships right in your face. So just look for that. They're going to have multiple partners and they make totally unfaithful marital partners, period. Look, y'all, this is the deal. Cheating on you got nothing to do with you. Saying it again. Cheating on you got nothing to do with you. It's a character flaw in that person. And wherever that person goes, while they're with you, after they're with you, they're taking that character flaw with them. So if you're... Okay, let me come clean here. I have in the past, way in the past, but I have dated married men. It wasn't like, oh, you married? No? Okay, no, I got to move over this guy. You married? Yeah. Okay, let's date. It wasn't anything like that. But the whole matter was that I was dating men who were cheating on their wives. Now, how much you fall in love with this joker, how much that person has your heart, girl, or Mr., whoever I'm talking to, this goes for women too. If they cheat with you, they will definitely cheat on you. So don't think that you're gaining anything or think that oh, I'm the better woman, I'm the better man because she'd rather be with me. Don't fool yourself. I saw a guy with a TikTok and he had played, he had stitched somebody else's TikTok. It might have been a woman that was talking about dealing with a married man and believing all his lies or whatever. And basically this man said this, and take this with you if you will. The man said, you don't have to lie to these women because they lying to themselves. And I have been guilty of that. You don't have to lie to these women you cheating with. Just let them keep lying to themselves. Okay, now here we are. All of that adds up to what? The con artist. Good looking, glib, gregarious. The guy is, the guy or the girl is real dynamic, and they're drawing you into a web. Everything the psychopath does is with an ulterior motive. Everything they do, male or female con artists, is because they're drawing you into their web. They're very skillful at it. It's always covert, and it's always pressuring others for personal or financial gain. See, like I said, they're excellent at reading your weaknesses and your emotions because they can capitalize on that to get what they want. For somebody, if they spend half that time being self-aware about their own emotions, they'd be better people. But they're focusing all out here because they don't want to deal with their own weaknesses. But trust me, they see in yours and they know how to play you. And this is part of the reason why I always say when you first start dating somebody, don't be upchucking the boogie and giving them the playbook as to how to manipulate you. You can't be talking about your hurts, your past hurts, your pains. You can't be talking about all that because they're just, if they're con men or a psychopath, they're using all of that and they have to put forth zero effort to put together their playbook for how to play you. You're just giving it up. Don't do that. Now, after they use you up, or you get wind of who they are and get them out of your life, it's going to be all your fault. Yep, going to be all your fault because if there's any blame to be had in the matter, it ain't going to be their blame if they're telling the story. So they have no remorse and they looking down on the people they use as if they're big losers because they had weaknesses that they capitalized on. They're not going to feel any guilt. They're going to have little emotion or empathy for you. Don't look for them to take the blame because it's going to be blame the victim. They're cold-hearted. They hold contempt for others. And they figure that the people that they take deserve to be taken. Not their fault. Now, one of the reasons why you see some erratic emotions, there are also impulsivities involved. They're thrill seekers. It's almost like that adrenaline rush is like a drug to these people. And so they're big risk takers. Okay. Why are they big risk takers? You can take a risk after calculating the consequences of what you're going to do and deciding to do it anyway, or you can just take the risk and have no consideration for the consequences of your actions. And you don't want to be in the crosshairs of this kind of thing. Okay. Because they cannot resist temptation, which is why they're serial cheaters. They have no self-discipline. They're going to they're going to take that temptation every time, and they're going to take that risk because they have no tolerance for delayed gratification. For instance, you might see a dress you like. It might be a $500 dress, and you might look at that dress for months while you save up for it, or until you have the money and can pay for that without it hurting you in the long run. These people, they're going to just spend that money, and most likely it's going to be your money they're spending. I'm just saying. Now, the other thing you want to look for in a psychopath is that they're easily bored. We already talked about the thrill seeking. They can't sit still. There's something wrong inside that they don't want to deal with. They feel like they just cannot deal with whatever dynamics are going on with their own trauma. So you're going to bore them. I don't care how you try to keep up with these jokers. I don't care how you jump right in with them because you don't want to lose the relationship. You don't want to be rejected. The ultimate end to being in a relationship with a psychopath is you are going to be rejected. And I say, hallelujah, you dodged a bullet. That's what I say to the whole mess. So be ready if you're in a relationship or dating a psychopath that they're going to get bored with your behind. And it's off on the thrill-seeking thing again. So this just is not good, y'all. This just is not good. We don't want to be seeing all these red flags in a relationship. And what I want you to understand is that it's not that necessarily every one of these things will be evident to you in a person who's a psychopath. It might be this thing, that thing, or the other. They don't just happen in a line. And you can see some of these behaviors in people who are not psychopaths. So that's why I told you earlier that only a trained mental health professional is qualified to make such a diagnosis. But I'm giving you this for information so that the bottom line is this: whether you see this in somebody who's a narcissist or somebody that's got some other mental health thing going on or the psychopath, you can look at this as a list of red flags telling you to run, do not walk away from this mess, and do not talk yourself into ignoring it because you're heading for heartbreak all day long. You can't keep trying to get blood from a turnip, and you can't keep trying to make somebody who is incapable love you the way you deserve to be loved. Always remember, your greatest power is realized in the truth of who you are. Know that truth. Before you go, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share the episode. Thanks.